Debate to be followed by Gordon MacDonald.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. It is unfortunate that we are here again, once again, having to debate further education in this chamber and having to challenge this government's savage cuts which are having a devastating impact on thousands of people across Scotland, not to highlight the valuable training and retraining opportunities that colleges provide to thousands of Scots, but rather having to once more challenge this Education Secretary who continues to deny what is happening in our colleges. Given that the Education Secretary last year said college budgets were increasing, but in fact they were decreasing, it's unsurprising that he has been caught denying reality yet again. Mike Russell was asked a simple question about college waiting lists. He said it was a false concept. Presiding Officer, the only false concepts around here are Mike Russell's answers. Mike Russell disputes the figures that have been mentioned earlier. How many people are on college waiting lists? We still don't know, and the Cabinet Secretary doesn't know. But what is clear is the Scottish Government's own sample interim audit has stated that there are people in Scotland on lists waiting for college places. And if there was even any more doubt, the SNP Government's own amendment today even admits there are waiting lists. But it shouldn't be a surprise that we have college waiting lists. It shouldn't be a surprise when 1,300 staffing posts are removed from our colleges that this is where we end up. It shouldn't be a surprise when you slash colleges' teaching budgets, and it shouldn't be a surprise when student numbers have been cut by 70,000 that this is where we end up. It took Mike Russell 6 months to apologise for misleading Parliament the last time, when he falsely claimed he was cutting the college budget. How long will we have to wait for an apology this time? How can anyone have any confidence in Mike Russell when he continually misleads this chamber? But more seriously, he implements policies that continue to damage the life chances of thousands of Scots. Presiding Officer, the key thing here is to address the cause of this college waiting list scandal, the cuts to college teaching grants which should be reversed in full. We need to reinstate the money to allow those who want to train and retrain for employment to have the opportunity to do so. We need to reinstate this money to increase opportunities for young people, opportunities for women, opportunities for people with learning disabilities and opportunities for lifelong learners. In my own region, in the west of Scotland, Reed Care College in Paisley has seen its budget cut by over £1 million. I've met with students and staff at Reed Care to discuss the damaging impact these cuts are having and the serious challenge the college faces in continuing to provide education and training. I wonder if SNP members have done the same. And the big question is, following George Adams' contribution earlier, ahead of the budget next week, will SNP backbenchers vote to cut the budgets of their local colleges yet again next week? Will, for example, George Adams, who represents so many local students, vote to cut Reed Care's budget yet again? It's time that SNP members...
Mr Adam, the member's not taking it.
Mr
Adam, please sit down.
Will I get extra time if I take an intervention?
I'm afraid there's no time in this debate.
It's time that the SNP members who claim to stand up for their areas and local young people to start listening to their constituents. SNP members like to talk about free education regularly, but the reality is the SNP policies here are excluding many Scots from education. Presiding Officer, in October, Mike Russell said waiting lists were a false concept. He now says they are exaggerated. The only false concepts around here are Mike Russell's answers. And the one thing now that's surely wildly exaggerated is Mike Russell's tenure as Education Minister.
You must finish
it's time
now.
he listened, apologised and dealt with his college waiting list scandal.